All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's weekly Quiptic crossword. It's supposed to be easier than the daily, but we've had mixed results recently. Set today by Hectons. Let's see if Hectons gets it right. Artist, leader of innovation in movement and light. Artist is usually RA for a member of the Royal Academy. Leader of innovation, I think, is just going to be an I, the first letter of innovation. Inside a word for movement, and that's going to mean light. Oh, radiance has the I inside of dance, which I suppose is a form of movement. All right, let's try the downs. Wolves player who roams around aimlessly. Roaming around aimlessly seems like an anagram indicator, but yeah, I don't see how we would get 8 letters for an anagram. Or maybe it is the name of an actual Wolves player, but I don't think they would normally require us to have that sort of knowledge. Obscure cricketers from the 1920s, sure, we're supposed to know that, but a current Wolves player, not sure. All right, long nail finally broke. I'm wondering if the definition was long, then pine would fit, but I don't see how nail finally broke would work. Oh, a nail is a pin, and then the final letter of broke is an E. I like that. Person from institutions given home with couple. All right, well, home we often see as in, on the understanding that if you're home, you are in. And couple could be mate, and an inmate is a person from an institution. Church program includes top lay musician. Well, church is usually CH, there's the abbreviation, RCE for the Church of England. And then I think we have a word for program, and we put in the top letter of lay. I'm wondering if a program might be a list, and then we have a cellist. All right, let's do some more downs. Designer has last of mini skirts in Twiggy's size. Yeah, I think it might be a designer. Last of mini would be the I. Skirts in Twiggy's. I'm wondering if that could be the skirts, the outer letters of Twiggy, the T and the Y. And then, yeah, maybe the definition is size, or we put a size after all of that to get a designer, but not thinking of one. Essentially policed, crime surrounding alcohol shop. Well, surely an alcohol shop is an off license. Now, is it going to be SE or CE? Let's see if the wordplay is going to help us. Yeah, I think it's the inner letters of policed, which I think is that LIC, and then a crime surrounding. Oh, is offense. Yeah. Oh, again, it could be the C or the. Oh dear. Yeah, I always struggle with knowing when to use the C and when to use the S. I'm going to stick with the S. Anyway, let's try one more down. Stalls in Kitzbühel initially, keeping old among new skis. So I think it's meaning stalls, the first letter of Kit's Bool. I've never heard of that. And then we have a new version of skis would be an anagram of skis, and we put O for old in the middle of it. All right. Ant losing housing, just not right. Well, I just did the everyman where ant was the answer. Here, I think we lose the outer letters of ant to get un. Just is fair, and unfair means not right. Unemployed, setter had clues every now and then. I'm thinking the setter hectance is referring to him or herself as I. And then the every other letter of clues. Oh, setter had actually is ID. And then the second letters of clues are LE. And if it's unemployed, it is idle. All right, finally corrected. All tags on toys with 75% off. I'm wondering if the definition is finally because at long last fits. Yeah, so I think we correct our anagram all tags on. And then we need an extra T. So it's toys with 75% off. That just leaves the first T. All right. Look online for live coverage of disputes. I'm thinking look online might be browse. Yeah, so live, if to live is to be, which I think is Townes Van Zandt song, and that provides coverage of rows, which are disputes. Lawyer's bag. Ooh. Is it just a double definition? Something like solicitor, solicits. I'm just double checking my kiosks. That has to be right. Oh, a suitcase, of course. So it's just a pun. A lawyer might keep their lawsuits in a case. All right, I think we may even have had that one before. Even with exam mark reduced by university, a first in linguistics. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm thinking it might mean even. Even maybe as in level. Exam mark. I'm not sure what reduced is by university, but I'm thinking A might be A and the first in linguistics would be an L. Even. I don't quite see it. Decay in waste producing toxin. I think we're going to put a word for decay inside a word for waste, but I don't know what toxin that's going to be. Insist head coach's right leaving. I think the definition will be insist. Maybe a word for head or a word for head coach, and we remove the R from it, right leaving. Trainer, but insist. What's another word for insist? Coach, of course, could be a bus of some kind. No. Special care, use, we lost, returning to fold. No. Graduate doctor weeps, admitting student cheats. Well, graduate is often used in wordplay, BA, MA. Doctor, it could be DR, MD, MO. And weeps could be cries or sobs, and that has to admit a student, which could be an L. And then I think the definition is going to be cheats. Oh, which could be the verb or the noun. And I'm trying to think of BA words that might mean cheats. No. College, vote retains sport as essential principle. All right. Yes, I was just trying to think what a vote might be, aye or nay, but I also thought you mark your X. C, we've seen before, can be college. And then the C and the X retain rugby union as the sport, and the crux of the matter, I suppose, would be the essential principle. Shook, container with wine. So I'm thinking if shook is a past tense verb, then maybe the wine is red. And so what's the container going to be that can make a verb in the past tense for shook? Container, tin, bin, can, vat, shook. No, I don't see it. Let's finish the acrosses. See fewer without sin. So I'm thinking it's going to be a less word. Fewer will be less. And so without sin, not blameless. C can be a bishop's domain, of course, but I don't know what that's going to be, but I'm fairly confident about the less. All right, big draw in twitching days. Curl you, maybe. All right. So the surface is all about ornithology, but twitching could be an anagram. Is it days curl you? No, the maybe, I think, indicates something bird, maybe? Big draw, is that the definition? Wonder. No. Working in Canada, starting to see huge snake. Oh, startled, I should say. So we've had in fact, we just had during the week, we had anaconda, and I think we also had a very similar clue to this one as well. We anagram Canada, Canada, and then we put on for working inside it. Startled is the anagram indicator here. All right, so the AL was right. Good to know. Detectives, men, reportedly undercover. Yeah, so it seems like a homophone. Undercover could be intense or something like that. No, I think I need something more for that. Fence in space nearby. No. Online image. Oh, I'm wondering if that could be avatar. for travel centers, American sailor. Yeah, the center of the word travel, AV, A for American, and tar, the old word for a sailor. Scout out, money for business. Ah, I like it, but I don't know it. Pass time with young horse. I think a call can be a mountain pass, and then T for time, and that gives us a colt. All right, just like in the Everyman, the last clue was an easy one. All right, I should be able to get my designer now. Or is it size? I'm thinking that looks more like a designer. Let me pause and just think if I can think of a designer. No, I'm thinking now it might be a size, but I did glance over here, and of course, I don't know why I didn't think of Wolverhampton Wanderers, so that's all we had to know was the name of the team. So there we go. Here we go. Even with exam reduced, exam mark reduced by university. Oh, by university might be U. The exam mark, I think, is your grade, and that is reduced to a grad. Then the university, A first in linguistics. So gradual as even, I suppose a gradual increase. I don't know if that's the same as even. I would quibble about that. All right, so here's now our... the definition is curlew maybe. It is an example of a wading bird. So draw in is twitching or being anagrammed, I think. Oh, and big. Sorry, big draw in is twitching. There we go. And then D, I think, is the final. And then the apostrophe S. So big draw in, twitching, plus the D is a curlew maybe. All right. Insist. Maintain would be to insist. I think head is main, and to coach somebody is to train them. So I was on the right lines with the R leaving. All right. I'll come back to that. But yeah, this could be graduate, doctor, doctor weeps. So I'm thinking, I was just thinking about if a BA and then an MB, I think cheats might be bamboozles. So weeps is oozes, so it's not weeping as in crying, but as in seeping. Okay, and that admits the L for a student. All right, fence. I'm wondering if in is literally in and then a space nearby, and it's going to mean fence. Ooh, it could be fence as in the sport. Or maybe we put a word for fence inside space, in space, and we get nearby. No, don't get it. All right. Yeah, that designer definitely looks like the one to get. Last of mini skirts. Not seeing it. And here's our detective's man. Don't have anything else for that. All right. Yeah, let me pause and just think about without sin. Of course, metaphorically, you would be spotless, and to see something is to spot it. All right, fence. Oh, enclose, maybe? Fence in space nearby? Ah, yes. There is the printer's N space, EN. They also have the EM. And then something that is nearby is close. There we go. Scout out. Scout out might be an anagram of scout. And then a single letter for money. And that's going to give us our word for business. So we're going to have a C, U, and T. Oh, custom. Yeah, I think it's business as in your shop does a lot of business, has a lot of custom. And so money must be simply M. All right, special care. Oh, maybe an anagram of care. Use we lost is just the E and the S after you remove we. Yeah, so that will give us crease. Yeah, if you fold something, you might crease it. All right. Here's our detectives. So that could be DIs. And then men, reportedly. Undercover. I think something like disperse. Yeah, not disperse, but if that is a D, decay in waste. What's the short word for decay? No, don't see that. And my shook. Yeah, let me pause and think about a short word for a container or a word that might mean shook. I'll run through the alphabet. Uh, yeah, that didn't take long. It's shook as in getting a shock. You might be jarred. Of course, has another meaning in Ireland. And a container could be a jar. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to have to give in and use wordplays.com for this one because I'm just not seeing. I'm wondering about what's going to come between the N and the I. Maybe an L, maybe another N. But I think that might be a consonant. Yeah, let me look it up. It's actually size, but size more as amount, and that would be quantity. So the designer is Mary Quant, and then the last of mini is the I, and then the skirts in Twiggies, sure enough, are the outer T and Y. Yeah, I should have thought about an ITY ending. Oh, so now my toxin must be cyanide. Decay in is anagrammed, so waste is telling us to anagram that. All right. I do get my D here. Yeah, let me pause, and the definition then must be undercover, I think. Of course, it's disguise. So it was detective inspectors, and then men might be guys, Guys, which sounds like Guise. And if you're undercover, very appropriate with the surface. You are in disguise. All right, I think that was about right. There were a couple there that really threw me, especially quantity. So let's go ahead and check all. Ah, all right. It is a C. Dang it. All right. I will try and remember that for next time, but I don't have much hope. Let's take a quick look at 15 squared and see if the natives are restless or if they're happy with this one. All right, the blog is by Pierre, who says Hectons is the longest standing Quiptic setter. I didn't know that. Pleasing and well constructed puzzle. Lovely surface readings to boot. I'd agree with that. I think I followed everything. I always thought bamboozle meant to confuse or mislead. Oh yeah, but the cheat definition is there. So that's my tilt, is that today I learned that. I don't know what that is. You need to know the team name, which I did know. Oh, Hectons is a Man City supporter. Didn't know that. And then off license. Oh dear, yeah. All right, just H short of a pangram. Ah, all right. Yeah, so we could have had inhale to get the pangram. Oh, excuse me, my tummy must be time for lunch. All right, well, that was a lot of fun, and people seem well, maybe a little disagreement. This is a puzzle for beginners. Oh, well, that's Pierre standing up for Hectons. Excellent cryptic. Ooh, wouldn't be out of place. So yeah, there are a few people thinking it was a little on the hard side. Anyway, I did enjoy it, and hope you did too. Thanks as always for watching, and have a wonderful day and a wonderful week ahead.